Welcome to another marvelous episode of CFB Nation, hosted by me, Lever KT, a.k.a. the governor of college football. And look, of course, today we got Nino, a.k.a. the mayor of college football. Nino, how you doing today, man?
Living large and in charge. It's been a hectic day on the NFL side, free agency and everything. But I get to step away from that. Thank God. Talk college football. Let's get
it. Yeah. You and I are both, super excited to talk about college football. There's so much to talk about this time of year between spring camps getting opened up. We're talking about pro days, everybody getting ready for the NFL draft. And as we like to say on here, that's where we have to let the players go. Once they go pro, we let them go.
Let them doves fly.
We've been with them, 3, 4 plus years for some people.
6, some guys,
including about 3, 4 transfers in the midst of it as well.
Yeah,
but we're not talking about anybody specific. Of course, this is episode 60. We climbing up there in the numbers, man. Episode 60 already. So, some of the topics we're talking about today: Sean McDermott. He got inducted into the William and Mary Hall of Fame. So shout out to our guy, Sean McDermott. Also, we're going to talk about USC defense and USC in particular as far as some of their players are getting in shape. I think there's 2 schools of thought we're going to get into. I think Nino proposes great questions for those, so I can't wait for that topic. Pro day schedules, Nino's kind of going to give you guys a rundown. Pro day schedules, who to look at. Per team, I probably talk about, a player that stands out for me. I'll talk about their RAS scores. RAS scores and things of that nature. 2 early top 10. I don't want to call it the way too early top 10. I think the way too early would have been, right after their national championship.
Yeah.
Too early because there's still some things we don't know. The second transfer portal period hasn't opened up yet. We're definitely going to get some people where the spring camp didn't go the way they wanted to, nor did the spring game. So they're going to be looking for new homes. And also, me and Nino going to get into some rapid fire. Hope everybody is ready. Shout out to Dino. Dino in the chat. Dino's always ready.
My guy.
Also, Hawk Nest is debuting this week. Wednesday.
Let's go.
2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Make sure you are there. I'm telling you, the crew is killing these team-based podcasts. I'm trying to tell you, Nino's going crazy with the Nebraska one. I've been fiending for some more this Sooner Shakedown. I am ready. And then the Hawk Nest debuting this week. I'm telling you, there's a lot to look forward to on CFB Nation. Make sure you guys go and do me a favor, like, comment, and subscribe here. And then also go to the search bar, search Toilets to Titles. Make sure you sub there. They're almost at 1,000 subscribers. They probably are doing the giveaways. And Nino and Coach and the boys are always famous for giveaways. So if you become that 1,000 subscriber, I'm sure it's something there for you. Also, this show is sponsored by the good folks over at BigfootsWorld.com. Make sure you enter that code, CFB Nation. Go and get you some apparel, home decor, things of that nature. Nino, you ready?
Always.
All righty, so go ahead, break the news to him about Sean McDermott.
All right, so Sean, if you didn't know, Sean McDermott wasn't just always a coach, right? But he just got inducted into William and Mary Hall of Fame, right? Mm-hmm. McDermott, before we jump into how it was all done and stuff, and I think it was smooth. I saw a little Twitter video about it. McDermott played. He played a while. His career there, right? 322 tackles, 20 pass defenses, 4 picks, 3 fumbles, 3 forced fumbles, 6 fumble recoveries. He was 32-14. That's like a 70% winning percentage while he played.
Yeah.
The dude could get down, right? And obviously that's apparent in his coaching style. But he showed up at the team, right? And he met with the team and decided to get a little action. He was there for his Hall of Fame ceremony or whatever. But long snapper, Nick Levy, he said, "Hey, Nick, show me your problems on punt and kicks. I want to see his snaps." He's in the room with everybody, right? Gets in the formation, dude snaps when McDermott catches it. Kid's all excited, comes up to him, lets him know he wants a scholarship. You want to
get the heck out of here?
Pure joy. This kid, that Levy kid, was super excited. The room went bananas, but it was just, I know you're a McDermott guy. We're talking college football. William and Mary doesn't really get up on here that often, so it was something to lead off the show. A good, heartfelt moment. I figured why not bring it up?
Yeah, we love feel good stories here. Actually, William and Mary is about an hour and a half away from me. I love Williamsburg overall.
Oh, yeah.
I think you and I talked off the record. I'm a history buff, especially U.S. history from 1865. I could talk that all day. But going to Colonial Williamsburg, you always see how friendly the people are just love everything about Williamsburg. So me and my old lady go annually. But there's always a funny story that you hear with Sean McDermott at his stay at William and Mary. They always talk about Mike Tomlin. I know you remember about, a couple of the games. They always bring up the story of how Mike Tomlin was a hot shot player offensively, and McDermott is just a scrappy player defensively. And it's crazy that both of those guys who played on the same team, just a little college,
yeah, it's crazy,
and end up being professional coaches. So I always love hearing that story.
Yeah, let's go.
So what's about what's going on at USC?
So what I hear is, DC Alex Grinich, he wants to whip his unit into shape, right? He wants to get them quicker. And Lincoln Riley came out I want to say it was Thursday or Friday, saying that he expects an extremely high-level defense at USC. And there is no reason in the world that quote-unquote, we can't or why we won't be. And we expect that to happen and happen soon.
Right.
Okay. He put a little heat on him, right? Now, everybody thinks USC in the defense. And you have to think, though, last year, they led the nation in takeaways, right? Mm-hmm. And top turnover margin. So that kind of just falls on deaf ears and blind eye because they got smoked in the last two games when it counted.
Mm-hmm.
But he got some guys losing weight, and he brought in some dudes during the transfer portal that are pretty quick. All Big 12 linebacker Mason Cobb, he's fast, right? Mm-hmm. Georgia State linebacker Jamil Muhammad, he's another fast linebacker. Those guys are fast. D lineman Jack Sullivan from Purdue, so they got some speed, and I don't want to say this the wrong way, but they're in shape. All right, gentlemen that are already in there. Korea Freeman came in at 245, already at 235. Keon Boz came in at 315. He's already at 290. I understand, right? And if it was just dead weight, right? Just my man was just not working out and he had a little bit of extra chub on him. I'm cool with it, right? Mm-hmm. But if he's losing power or muscle, right, to get a little faster, my question is this a smart or a stupid move heading into Big Ten?
I think that's a brilliant question, first and foremost, because I believe offensive linemen just play different in the Big Ten, especially those interior offensive linemen that I love so much for the Big Ten. You think about some of those Ohio State offensive lines back in the day. You think about some of the Wisconsin's offensive lines with the Melvin Gordons and Jonathan Taylors. But I think it's two schools of thoughts, though, I think you look at those last two games, right, and you have to do a self-evaluation, a deep self-evaluation. Tulane put hands and feet on them dudes. Utah physically beat them. It was bad. It was a nightmare. Like, it was just a bad nightmare. So I wonder if this is just whipping them into shape because of what happened last year. I wonder it's just kind of a preview of what we're going to see with a USC defense. Maybe they're going to be doing mass subs on the front four. There's a couple schools of thought. But when you go to the Big Ten, you better bring your lunch pail. you better, because we've seen in 2021 a not-so-good Illinois team physically beat down a Penn State team, a James Franklin coach Penn State team at that. It was bad. It was run left, run right, run middle. You can't stop us. My offensive linemen are better than your defensive linemen. So that's why I hear what you're saying. I think if you're going to get in shape, but in the fourth quarter is where the money is made, and it's won on that line of scrimmage. So will they be able to handle that? I guess the response to that from the defensive coordinators, look, I'm going to have fresh people. If I got fresh players in the fourth quarter, they should be able to make plays, even if they're a little lighter.
I'm with you 100%. And if that's your role, you're going, you're going to go 4-6 deep, right? You know what I mean? On the line, and you're going to go, 5-6 deep at the linebacker position. Yo, I'm cool with that. Right? You want guys that, because the NFL has become accustomed to that 235, 240 linebacker that's quick and powerful. I get it. I understand. But if you're going into a conference that's known for big boys at all aspects of it, right? Does the fast guy win? Because that hasn't happened yet. No. In that conference where it's big, bad, and ugly, the big, bad, and ugly always wins. The guys that try to come in and be Speedy Gonzalez, you're only Speedy Gonzalez until someone smacks you in the mouth.
Right.
So, you know what I mean? And then how long can you keep getting smacked in the mouth? And is your speed going to win? Yeah, the guy's going to tire out. But are you going to have anything left in you in the fourth quarter to even show your speed? So it's like, I don't know. But if you're going to have fresh guys that are right around, 290, 295, 330, 335, at your linebacker position, 290 at the end, but you're rotating them. Like, I'm not saying like, quarterly. I'm talking about every 3-4 plays, you're rotating them, then I'm cool with it.
Right.
I don't know if that's necessarily the game plan.
That's the hardest thing to figure out. But I think this is specific for this year.
Right.
Being in the Pac-12, their goal.
Championship.
It's a championship. So they want to get to the playoff. I think that they feel in order to do that for this season, this is what they have to do. I'm sure their approach will change next season because it's a lot of semantics that you and I have talked about on the show before. We're talking about the travel. As much traveling they're going to be doing. We're talking about if USC is scheduled for a big noon Saturday game, that's 9 a.m. out west,
That's
bro.
if he's even there.
Right.
Because I got a gut feeling that says this is the most wide open the Pac-12's been, right?
Me and you both agree. And I think
in a while. I had a hot take that shout out my boy Jake Crane, a Crane Company, put out there that I said, Washington's gonna win the Pac-12. They're gonna beat Oregon. They're gonna beat USC, and Peck's probably gonna be in the top 3. I do believe it. And if you look later on in the show, you understand why I do believe it. Because I'm an Oregon guy, but I don't even got him in the top 10 to start the season.
Oh, I know. And we're going to talk about that.
So, the weapons are there in Washington. They got. I've been saying it now 2 weeks. So I'm going to keep saying it. I'm not going to backtrack. They got a top 5 wide receiver duo in all of college football, right?
No doubt.
Now they have a receiving back. They're returning 4 or 5 guys in the line. That's it. Everybody wants to talk about the coach, but I'm going to stand by the statement. I think it's more of Ryan Grubb than it is the coach. I think Grubb could possibly be, coordinator of the year. But
and you know what happens when that happens.
Right. But now, with all that going on, if USC wins, right, they win the Pac-12 championship. And for some godforsaken reason, because it's been a long time they've been relevant when it came down to title time, they were in the college football playoff, right?
Right.
He's gone. Lincoln Riley don't like to go from here to here.
No.
Okay? Why would he go from the top of the Pac-12 to go and be in the Big Ten and decide at the bottom? When the guys over here in the NFL are going to be dropping coins on him. If they win the Pac-12, I don't think they are. They win the Pac-12, he's going to the show.
That's your take.
That's my take.
So you saying if he wins the Pac-12, Lincoln Riley is going to the show?
Yeah.
What team could you see him coaching?
Whatever team Caleb Williams is going to. Because it wouldn't put it past me to Houston to fire a guy again. One and done.
Not at all. No, we want an offensive-minded X's and O's guy. We went back to back with Lovie Smith. And
it's only a couple states over. Going a couple states. Keep your house in there. We'll make sure that's paid. We'll build you a new house over here.
That's an interesting take. That's a very interesting take. All right, let's move on to this pro day schedule specifically for today and tomorrow. Nino, you want to go ahead give out the list of people who are participating in the pro days, and then, like I said, I got a feedback for a few guys.
All right. So before I get into this, I looked and searched literally everywhere. Like, I don't know if anybody at Western Michigan was at the pro day. I know they held the pro day, but I couldn't find anyone. Western Michigan didn't have anything. The Angry Blue Bird didn't have anything. On 3/24, I looked everywhere. I was searching. I couldn't find it. I found multiple guys on different other schools that had pro days today, but Western Michigan, I could not find anything. So I do apologize. But we're gonna go to Coastal Carolina first. Obviously, they had a couple guys at the combine: Gerard Clark, Lance Boykin, right? Jordan Strong. But there were other guys that were at the pro day today. Antoine Lupo, offensive lineman; Jarian Parker, safety; Tyler Roberts, wide receiver; Adrian Hope, linebacker; Xavier Gravett, tight end; Massimo Biscardi, the kicker; Anthony McAfee, the second. He's a running back / slot wide receiver; and then Fred Jackson, who's also a running back / wide receiver. No disrespect to these gentlemen. I'm not listing any of their results today because none of it is going to get them even UDFA maybe. Okay, it's no disrespect to them. I just looked at what these gentlemen that are relevant, right? Mm-hmm. Gerard Clark, defensive tackle.
He's a zero technique. Purely a zero technique.
Yes. All right. And the teams that he spoke to, the first team I mentioned, I get, wow, he would fit well. He didn't do any drills. He just did measurables, right? And he didn't participate in any like 40 or anything like that. Yeah. He already did that at the combine.
His RAS scores were a little down.
Right.
Not bad.
But he said that he spoke with formally Green Bay and Indianapolis.
Okay.
You go to Green Bay, I think he fits perfectly.
I agree there. That definitely put him at that nose tackle.
Yeah, Indy, it's like, I'm
not sure if that's a natural fit.
That's what I mean. You're going to end up playing, he's not going to move from his natural position, which is, I don't know. Lance Boykin is the guy that draws a lot of interest from me. I think teams are starting to draw a little more interest in him. He did okay at the combine, right? But he, 6'2", 198. He did his vertical again, 30 and a half inch vertical. So not too shabby, not the greatest, but
he improved it though.
I believe he did improve it.
Okay.
And he said he has spoke with all 32 teams informally. Okay. So that means
informally, it's a little weird,
Right, but it's all 32. You know what I'm saying? So like when guys at the combine were saying, "Oh, I spoke to these guys informally," they weren't saying I spoke to all 32. So that means there's a little interest.
Okay, there's got to be some interest there.
Right. The Jordan Strong DB, he ran his 40 over. It was right around the same, but he's 5'9", 187. He ran a 4.6, 140. But he has had formal contact with the Vikings, the Bears, and the Chargers. So who do you like or have any question about at Coastal Carolina?
Like I say, Jared Clark was the guy that intrigued me most. It's just a fit for him. It has to be.
The same thing with the dude from Baylor, Yaka.
Yeah.
Iki, whatever his name is, it's the same thing. He's nose tackle. But there's only certain defenses that run with a nose tackle. So.
Yeah. It's a rough position to play, man. You got people chopping at your knees.
That's why you got to be 305, and you know.
You literally got to be a mauler. You got to be a beast. You're not gonna have a lot of stats.
Right.
You may get 22 tackles on the season coming out of that zero technique. It's a job nobody wants to do it, but somebody has to do it. So he's definitely the guy that stands out.
All right. And I like Boykin. I think Lance Boykin. I'm gonna go to late, like 6th, 7th round draft pick.
You think he'll get drafted?
I think he can get drafted late. I know it's Coastal Carolina, but I watched quite a bit of games of Carolina. Obviously you're just trying to feel it out. But I was obviously waiting for my boy Braden Bennett to come back last year at running back, but he never did. So I caught a little bit. He's got it. I think under the right coaching staff, I think he could be more. I mean, look at Jesse Bates III was undrafted, right? And he was great. He was great for Cincinnati Bengals, right? So whether he's UDFA or a 7th round pick, I do think he will be in the NFL. That's the guy I like out of Coastal Carolina. Now we'll go to Oregon State. Obviously, it's the darling. Everybody loves Luke Musgrave, right? But he wasn't. He literally just did measurables. He wasn't doing anything else. Brandon Kuiper.
Nor did he have to.
Right. Well, I'll get to it in a minute. But Brandon Kuiper, offensive guard, he just did measurables well. He was also at the combine. Then you had Jason Grant and Rajon Wright, DB. He also worked out. Now, the guy that I was interested to see was Alex Austin.
Me
DB,
too.
Right?
That's interesting.
So I watched all the film that they had. He ran 240s, right? I watched the drills.
How'd he do?
He looked faster in the second 40. I didn't get the times. Like they weren't posted yet because Oregon State was a little bit later in the day.
Right.
But he looked really fluid in the drills. And in his W drill, man, he was crisp. Like boom, 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 in and out.
His explosion is what was concerning after his combine.
So the W drill, I will say, the very first part of the W, when you come from top down and pack up, that was a little slow on the explosion, but I think he knew it because the rest of the way, he was very fluid and just moving nice. So I was nice to see. But I will say that it was nice to see was former Beaver QB, also was a Minnesota Vikings quarterback, Sean Manna, was throwing passes to these guys out there in the pro day. Cool. So that was pretty cool. But, for me, like, the key thing that I liked was the Titans scout could not leave Luke Musgrave alone. He was in his pocket the whole pro day. The dude was on the side of him the whole time. Every time I saw Musgrave, if he wasn't running or doing measurables, dude was on the side of him. So just something to keep in mind.
I like that. That's just that inside stuff that only Nino can put together. So let's go back to Alex Austin. Like we said, he had a 6.55 RAS score. We both knew coming into the pro day the explosion would be concerning to NFL organizations. Where do you feel like you feel like he could get drafted? And how high?
I feel like he's in the same boat as my guy Boykin. Okay, but I think Boykin's got like 2 inches on him, right? Alex Austin's only 6 foot. Boykin's 6'2". I want to know what he ran. All right, because if he ran like a mid 4.5, I'm okay. I think it'll help his draft stock, right? The second 40 looked fast, but they're not saying it on videos unless you're there. You're not gonna get it, and they post it later on. So, if you ran a 4.6, being a RAS score of 6 point something, being a guy coming out of a school where you want a big name, it's gonna be a UDFA. I just don't see him getting drafted.
Yeah, I would have to agree with you. So let's go back to Luke for a second. What round you think he gets drafted in? Because
here's my thing. Everybody, every year, with tight ends, it's like a 3-year process to hit, right? Like you're not gonna really get results until the 3rd year.
That's a fair assessment.
Right? I mean, maybe towards the latter end of the second season, the guy's set to go up. But look at Trey McBride. He was supposed to be like Michael Mayer, like the buzz. He was great in college, right? This year, right? It was maybe he'll get better this second season, but like a lot of these big name tight ends don't get. But there's always one that everybody pumps up, right? Brevin Jordan is ones that comes to mind. Dude, this guy's athletic, super athletic, can do this, can do that, right? But it was a small sample size because they didn't really use him crazy at Miami.
Yeah,
well,
they were having all type of troubles down.
Small sample size, small 3 games is what I got to work with here, right?
Yeah, you're going strictly off of measurables.
But what changed, right? So the guy went to the Senior Bowl healthy, played decently, right? I wouldn't say played. He was probably the best tight end there, right? He played great.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know if he was the best because homeboy from Oklahoma, just being all over the place.
Yeah.
And
he didn't test well, which was weird.
Right, and Payne Durham played well, but Payne Durham didn't do well at the combine, so I think he kind of fell off.
Davis Allen did though.
Davis Allen did what? Catching the ball?
No,
because he was he got destroyed.
He tested well.
Oh, okay. You can test well. See, that's the thing that kills me. These guys test well. But then all of a sudden they fall in love with him. But did you just forget what you saw when he was playing the game? Right? Like, that just because that boy's fast. Great. He can be lovely and fast, but he cannot catch the ball. What does that matter? He has a drop rate of 65%. You still draft him because he runs a 4.29? No. Well, you know what I mean? Go with what you've seen. Don't go because it's shiny and new all of a sudden. Ooh, this guy looks good. Ooh, hold on. No. I'm seeing Musgrave getting drafted in the first round ahead of Mayer and Dalton Kincaid, and that's a shame.
How does anybody get drafted above? Hey, if you like Mayer, you like Mayer. I think Mayer's dope. But Kincaid, the body of work,
he's my one.
He has to be the one.
He wasn't even supposed to be the one on his team.
Kuth was.
Right, and Kuth got hurt. Okay,
yeah,
granted, but Kincaid had 50 receptions last year. They were the top 2 receivers on their team, both of them guys. Right. So it's not like he's like, oh, he only did it because the guy was. Nah, bro. Nah. He did it because he's the dude. He is him. Right. I honestly think that Kincaid will have a better NFL career out the box and longevity. Mayer's a guy, right? But I think Mayer's got that look like a Gronk guy. And what happened? They're going to phone that Gronk look, and Gronk got destroyed because they used him like he was, like he was indestructible because he's just this big, huge beast of a man, right? Well, that's what Mayer, and Mayer throws his body out there. I have a funny feeling the same thing is going to happen. His career's going to get shortened due to injury. He's going to be all over the place throwing himself out there, right? And I think Kincaid's just a more natural receiver. I think he's going to have better. I don't see Musk in a perfect world. The NFL draft is not a perfect world by any means.
We know.
I don't see. In a perfect world, there's no way Luke Musgrave gets drafted over those two guys. In the NFL world, there's a very good chance that Luke Musgrave goes at the end of the first round before the other two gentlemen.
Wow. So that is definitely interesting news coming from Oregon State. Wow. You said Tennessee Titans all over Musgrave.
All over them. And they lost a lot of people today. A lot of people.
You said they were having a fire sale. Was that last week?
I said it, and it's happening, right? They're not resigning really anybody. They're letting everybody go. Defensive side of the ball, offensive side of the ball.
Hey, make sure you guys know CFB Nation is provided by the good folks over at Toilets the Titles. I see Toilets the Titles just chatted inside of the chat. Go ahead and click the name Toilets the Title. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button while you're there. All right, so
one last school.
Let's talk about South Carolina.
Yeah, I got a spicy one.
I want to hear
spicy one.
I want to hear your cornerback ratings right now.
What do you want? 1 to 10?
Now, you don't even gotta do that. But I know you Bob Costas and all, so I know you can do that. Just 1 to 5.
Porter is 1. Witherspoon's 2.
We knew that for a while. Okay.
Yeah, Witherspoon's 2. Banks is 3. And you can ask Coach. I know I don't have to reiterate it, but I've been on the Banks train before I went to Senior Bowl, and I told him I made a post about it before the Senior Bowl for a reason, because I don't bandwagon. All right, before the hype started, I was already there. Yeah. He's a dog.
You stick to your guns like I stick to my guns.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm just glad he took everything he did all year and he just blew it up in front of everybody on a bigger stage. So I'm glad. So it's Banks. Yeah. It's hard for me to do this, and I know everybody loves him. I watch him so much, and for some reason, there's this one thing about him that I just don't like. Like, he puts his head down too much for me. Gonzo, I got at 5. I got Cam Smith at 4. Okay. Gonzo, he's got that dog. He got everything I like, but like, you don't intercept the ball because he's too busy worrying about destroying somebody. Right? I thought Brenton on the other side, I liked him more. Just because the style of play he was at the DB role. Gonzo's a dude. He's good, but you don't use these really unless he's trying to tackle. You know what I'm saying? Right. So I think on the next level he's gonna have no choice. He's a bloodhound, whether it be for the guy carrying the ball or the ball. You know what I mean? Like he's gonna do his thing. This is something about him. I watched too many years of it to just be like, I'm all in. Like, he's a top 5 DB, so don't get me wrong. I got him at 5. At 6, this is where things get hairy. I know you like Russian Brents, okay? I've explained to you my concerns with Brents.
Right.
I got CP3 at 6. I just think he don't get enough credit. You can take the 5'10", you could shove it. My dude plays like he's 6'1". He's a dog. He's in your, at the line of scrimmage. He's in your throat. You know what I mean? He's good. And then after that, it kind of becomes a mess. Like you got the guys from Alabama, right? You got the gentleman from Syracuse who has the injury, but he probably would have been a top 5.
You were high on him in October.
Williams, yeah. I mean, he was a dude. He was top 2 until he tore his ACL. So, I mean, he would have been a top 5. You got my guy. I'm gonna write him up soon. My guy out of Ball State. He keeps rolling around this 9 or 10 spot for me, Nick Jones. I know he ran a 4.51, but my man runs 4.51 the whole game. Like, it's not like, he's just fast and dies off. He plays at that speed the whole time. So, like, after 7, 8, 9, and 10 are all just jumbled out together. Then you got Jalen Jones, who's just a straight train. He just destroys people. So, it's all mixed up, like, right around that. Rush is in there, in that mix with Brents. You know what I mean?
Right.
I'll just tell you what, that secondary, that's stupid. Cam Smith and Rush together, like, Say what you want about Beamer, right? You can hate him if you want him because his swag or however he portrays himself is different than anybody wants. But bro, nobody expected him to win that many games this year. Right?
No,
that defense was legit down the stretch.
No,
you don't get enough credit. Everybody hates on him.
No, nobody expected that. So let's get back into and I asked you that for a reason because of course we're going to talk about Oregon Pro Day, which is tomorrow, a little bit as well. So go ahead, talk about the players that were there, and anything. Right.
So obviously, seen. Cam Smith, Darius Rush, Zach Pickens. None of those guys did anything but measurables. Okay. They ain't working out. They already ran through all that. They don't need to improve nothing. Right. If anything, Darius Rush's stock went through the roof.
Exactly.
At the combine. So he's going to keep what he's got. He ain't going to mess that up at all. Jalen Brooks, wide receiver, 6'1", 200 pounds. Mm-hmm. He ran a 4.5 340.
Oh, damn.
There's something to keep in mind, right? Offensive tackle, Dylan Wanham, 6'4", 253 pounds. He ran a 5.2 740. He's a big fella, so you gotta keep in mind, anything around that 5'2 to 5'1, that's not slow, right? For a big guy that size.
Right.
But this is the one. I had a feeling he was gonna come out and just smash because he didn't even get an invite. And he tore it up for the Gamecocks the last 4 or 5 games of the year.
Yes.
That's Josh Van. 36-inch vertical. 10'5" broad.
Oh, wow.
Man. 4.4 340. Boom.
He's
on everybody's radar right now.
His RAS score. If we look at what's utilized in a RAS score, his RAS score would have been pretty damn good.
He's probably been in the 8s.
Yeah, I would imagine so. How tall is Van?
Maybe 6'1".
Okay, so
6 foot.
He wouldn't have been trouble in measurables. Explosiveness would have been good. What he ran would have been good. The agility, I'm not sure of, but damn, that's amazing. Yeah, his RAS score would have been pretty good. I wonder if Kent is going to add him.
He's 5'11"
to the database. Okay.
I thought he was 6 foot. Yeah, 5'11".
I mean, but we know how that go.
Yeah.
We talked about
that's
that
at the pro day too, so it's just different. Yeah. Now, like I said, Western Michigan, I couldn't find nobody, but Josh Van is on everybody's radar right now. I'm not gonna lie.
Okay, that's what's up. I'm happy for him because he definitely balled out towards the end of the season, and a lot of that has to do with Spencer Rattler's emergence because we definitely seen games that he struggled in earlier in the season. So happy to see that.
Now tomorrow, there's a bunch of different teams. There's 4 teams tomorrow that major. Clemson, Louisiana Tech, Northwestern, like you had mentioned earlier, Oregon. Mm-hmm. I want to mention before we get into Clemson, I'm just going to name guys. Obviously, there's nothing for me to talk about besides just key guys to look at. Right. Mike Tomlin's going to be at the Clemson Pro Day. I'm just saying. Take that for whatever you want. You got guys
been looking at stuff very specific. We paid a lot of attention to him at the Senior Bowl. He was definitely down in the trenches, kind of monitoring things. So.
I'm hearing he likes Trenton Simpson.
Really?
He's got a linebacker that's got a hole in it in that core. Needs to kind of replace that a little bit. I'm pretty sure Bush is a free agent. They haven't signed anybody yet. They only signed Patrick Peterson in the secondary today. So we'll see. He just got that grit. Simpson could be a dude that fits in Pittsburgh well. We'll see what he does. But you got Simpson, Breezy, Murphy, Davis Allen. They're all probably not going to do a damn thing but measure. Okay. Right. Now I heard KJ Henry, he might do a little bit, and Landon Sanders, the safety, he also might do a little bit. Right. And Joseph Nagata is probably going to rerun the 40.
Okay.
That's what I hear. He had so much hype coming out. 4-star coming out of high school. Just you saw some flashes of it with DJ. Here and there where they like gelled, and then there was times where they didn't gel, and I don't know if that was all DJ's fault or if that was Nagata's fault. So it's kind of like I don't know. I thought more we would get from him. The size is there. Obviously, he had the talent come out of high school. He's playing in the in the ACC. So we'll see what happens. But I'm interested to see what he runs for 40.
So I got a question for you. So we talked about Davis Allen earlier.
Mm-hmm.
Talked about how well he tested. Got an 8.77 RAS score with a 38-inch vertical and a 10.05 broad jump. So if you are a member of an organization, whether it's a scout, general manager, whatever, and we seen what we seen in the Senior Bowl.
Yeah.
And we seen it in person, and that don't lie. If Davis is going to do any drills tomorrow?
No, we ain't gonna do nothing. Why would he do any of that?
Yeah, right. I don't think he should test at all. Is he going to catch the rock, though? Because I know teams want to see him catch the rock. I know they want to see that.
Well, so, that was the only thing in the Senior Bowl he did well. I hate to knock somebody. I really hate being that guy. But, I saw it right in front of my face.
It's your job.
I mean, we watched him get blown up by a guy that weighs 20 pounds less than him. J.L. Skinner absolutely
he destroyed him.
Buckshot it. You know what I mean?
It was
treated
bad.
him like he was Darius Davis. So, you know what I mean? Come on. It was crazy. And I seen in drills when it was tight end against tight end, bro, I seen Payne Durham throwing this dude around. So it's you can catch the ball, cool. Hey, the last guy who did that made it to the NFL, he's a free agent that nobody wants by the name of Mike Gesicki. You can catch the ball tight end, that's cool. Bro, but if you cannot block, you better be Travis Kelce.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
And I don't know if he's Travis Kelce.
Nah.
So, you know what I mean?
You think he'll run again? Because what he ran, a 4.84, if I'm not mistaken. You don't think he'll improve upon that? Because his explosiveness is straight. If I'm him, I'm not jumping, nothing.
No, yeah. I mean, if he's going to probably measure, and then it all depends on how he feels when he comes into that stuff. None of that stuff is etched in stone until he gets there. He can decide what he wants, but I mean, 4'8" as a tight end, you might want to take the cement bricks off your feet.
Yeah. So we look at everybody at Clemson's pro day. Who you think has the most to gain out of this group?
KJ Henry.
Really?
Yeah, I think if KJ Henry has a really explosive pro day, I think he can climb. I'm not saying he's going to climb in the second round.
Right.
But I'm saying he can climb in from the latter half of the draft to probably the middle.
Mm-hmm.
I liked KJ Henry going into. They had a lot of guys that I thought that. See, their defense was stout, but it was off stout compared to last year. I said it all year. You know it. Obviously, Breesy was hurt for a good portion of the season, but I felt like Murphy kind of took half the season off, right? Mylan Murphy and Willie Anderson, or whether they were schemed out of it, right? Mm-hmm. But if you're that good, you're never schemed out of it. So I don't really want to hear that excuse, right? Because
we talk about the playing it safe perspective. We talk about that all the time. I ain't trying to hurt my draft stock. I ain't trying to get hurt. Not saying that we know for sure that players are doing this, but it's something.
But my eyes work, right? When I'm watching it, I'm like, bro, he does not look as explosive as he was last year.
Right. So we hoping that as far as excuses are concerned, that's the case with some of these guys.
Right.
So let's talk about LA Tech.
I got two guys that I seen that key that are gonna be key guys at the pro day. And that's Miles Brooks, DB, and BJ Williamson is a safety. They're obvious. I'm 100% sure these guys are running everything. They're going through the whole pro day. They'll be doing all the drills, measurables, the whole nine.
They got to.
They got no. This is for them. You know what I mean?
Right. That's why it's important to have these pro days. And I'm still interested about the Western Michigan situation. Are they just kind of having one to have one, or many people going to show up, or what? But that's interesting. Talk about Northwestern. Northwestern definitely got a lot of guys.
There'll be more guys come tomorrow morning, or even probably in an hour. You know what I'm saying? As they release obviously Hall, Skoronski, and Dobaware.
Were you surprised that Hall tested as well as he tested? Seeing him in person, he tested really well.
To be honest, slightly surprised, but bro, we saw him. When I was saying, why did I called him Aquafina right off the rip, right? Because he looked chiseled, and the dude was moving so fluidly in all of them drills, right? The only drill he kind of like
pass pro.
might have, exactly. That was about it. But he knows it. He owned it. Like in the interview first day, he said, "I got to work on it."
He's a solid dude.
Yeah. So like, I'm cool with him. I wasn't surprised. I honestly think he's going to get drafted a lot higher than people even expect. I think he's going to be middle of the pack.
He's bigger than I thought he was too. Like, cause we seen like his lower body. We was like, dang, he actually looks bigger in the lower body than Roschon Johnson did. Because I think you and I both had expectations. Like when we see this dude, he's gonna look like an old school middle linebacker playing running back.
I'm gonna make something stupid right now. Some stupid remark. You can probably clip it. It's either gonna be good or bad for me later on down the road.
Oh, here it goes.
News broke today, right? That Austin Eckler wants out.
Hey, Nino.
I can't.
Nino, I see where
you
you're
ain't
going
me.
with this one.
But hey, so hear me out, right? He wants out, but okay, they don't want to pay. We're going to give it for me. He wants permission to go search a trade. Cool, right? Instantly, all I read, right, on Twitter is, let him go. Go draft Jahmyr Gibbs. Nah, bro.
What?
Go get an offensive lineman. Go get another wide receiver. And you could take Evan Hull in the 3rd or 4th round and do the same thing. Because you drafted Isaiah Spiller last year, right? He can go catch the ball for you, and you can let Evan Hull bang.
Yeah. I was surprised. What is he? 5'9", 5'10", 209. I was surprised. I was really surprised by his size. And like I said,
he's chiseled. Bro.
Yeah,
he's chiseled.
Tested really well. Great route running out of the backfield as well. His vision is probably what impressed me more than anything. Oh, yeah. Even when stuff wasn't there immediately at the line of scrimmage, just having the patience to let me see this little.
Real quick. And he got twitch. He got some twitch.
He does
for a stout dude.
He does, but I like that. We gotta clip that because I think you made your call again like Babe Ruth. So this is
now I do want to see Cameron Mitchell, the DB on Northwestern, right? Because it's a deep class,
right?
So if you're trying to go late, you know what I mean. If you're trying to make a little buzz for yourself, you better be quick, right? You better be agile. So that cone drill, that stuff better be on point. And if it is on point, then just like Austin, you might be able to work yourself into that later on, or even at UDFA, like an hour after the draft is over. Because there were some dudes last year that were getting signed like minutes after the draft was over that played this year.
You're right. You're 100% correct about that. And with this corner class being as deep as it is, what do you think has been the deepest cornerback class since this one?
Ooh, man, it might be like 8 to 10.
Yeah, I'm trying to think because all I could think about is like the classes that didn't pan out, like the one with D. Milner.
Well, all right. Let's just look at last year, right?
Mm-hmm.
You had Sauce.
Mm-hmm.
You had McCreary.
Mm-hmm.
You had Tariq Woolen, right?
Yeah, played phenomenal. How did Stingley do this season? I didn't catch a lot of Texans games.
He was hurt for a little while, but when he did play, he did well.
Okay, and I know you're an IDP guy, so
I know obviously. Yeah, the guy on the defensive side of the ball was Petrie over there. But yeah, it's, which I think with them two together in the long run, you got a good secondary. He didn't get to play much last year, but Dax Hill, right? Lewis Seen. So like there was a good amount of like this. Last year was deep class. They get overshadowed by Woolen and Sauce because they were consensus rookies of the year for the defensive side. So,
no doubt.
But yeah, I would have to say like. Probably 8 years off the top of my head. I go back. I couldn't tell you exactly the names, but it's deep always until the draft. I want to see how deep it is after 1 year.
Right. We could definitely revisit this conversation in a year. So let's go to Eugene. Let's talk Oregon. And before you get started, I gotta say that I think Gonzo is going to be the first cornerback taken off the board. As crazy as that sounds,
where do you think he's going to go?
I think that is the most difficult question.
I said the Raiders.
You think?
But not after.
Raiders?
I said the Raiders before they went and got rid of all their quarterbacks and signed Jimmy.
Yeah.
So now I don't know. Now I think my guy's going there. I'm a little scared.
Will a corner go in the top 10? I don't think so. Because Tennessee's holding what, 10th or 11th pick? It's one of those picks.
I also heard that probably an hour before I came on the show that Ryan Tannehill's on the trade block. So
would they draft another quarterback in the first round?
No, but they could draft it. They could draft a DB.
They could.
They could draft a linebacker because they just lost David Long Jr.
I like that. So I think the first quarterback won't probably be taken off the board to round either that Tennessee pick or pick 12 or 13.
It all depends on what Carolina does, right?
Uh-huh.
Because so I'm also reading that if
I think
the
they
quarterback,
take AR.
Why? Because the last time they won, they took Cam Newton.
No. That's lazy. That's real lazy.
Who? Wait a minute. We were on agreement with this, right?
Yeah.
That whoever took AR has to be ready to go with a veteran there, right?
Right. So,
who's there? They just said they were willing to trade Matt Corral.
They traded Matt Corral?
They just said this morning when tampering was legal that Matt Corral is available. They're available to trade him, and they don't need the bag.
Damn.
So who? Sam Darnold just signed with the 49ers.
Damn.
Right.
I agree with
P.J. Walker is your only other dude. You do not want to start the season with P.J. Walker and AR.
No, you don't. But
so I just can't see it. But what I can
giving
see.
Up King's ransom for CJ?
Hold on a second. Ready? Oh. You want AR. I'll come out of the first spot to get you AR. I'll take the second or the third pick. I'll take 2 seconds. And you know what I'm saying?
I see what you're saying.
Right? Now, they had nothing to lose by giving the Kings ransom, right?
Yeah, they gave up, for my money, they gave up way too much.
But now the ball's in their court.
I agree. They holding all the cards. That's what they wanted.
And I don't think he's a kind of a wild dude, but I just don't think with the staff that's built there and everything right now that they would allow the Panthers to pull a 49ers. You know what I mean? Like you traded up for your guy. Right, either go get your guy,
right? So you think
or get the bag for everybody else.
Trey Lance theory will scare them a little too much.
Yeah, I think the owner told the GM, if you're trading up to that one spot, you take your dude. If your dude's available at 3,
who's that dude at 1 for the Panthers? If they don't trade down, who's that dude?
I would have to say Stroud.
You think C.J. Stroud?
But Mark just said that Schofield says that he thinks that Will Levis with that coaching staff, that's the perfect spot for Levis. Mm-hmm. Bro, if Levis goes 1, close Twitter down.
I'm telling you now, they need to.
I will have to.
It's gonna be ugly. Bro. They don't go call out of work.
Well, it'll be late at night, so it don't matter. But I don't think he's going 1. I don't know. It's very because I read a lot. I'm reading that the Panthers are putting out there that they're willing to move from the 1 spot.
Really?
You don't move from the 1 unless that you just traded up to. Unless you know you're going to get a bag and your guy is at the spot that you're trading to 1,000%.
So you think Stroud is the guy?
I think, yeah. If you're at the 1 spot taking a QB, it's the start today.
Based on the tape, it should be Stroud. But what I
hear Young
post. So if Anthony Richardson lights it up pro day, you know it's gonna be overblown. Let's say bro go like 22 or 24. Accuracy's there, everything's there. Like, it's no way that they take. Because me and you been on this for a long time. We don't see what everybody else sees. He tested really well.
Oh, I see what everybody else sees, dude. I see it. I see that he has an abs. He's got a strong around the world. He got a strong arm and Levis. Okay, I get that. He's the most athletic dude on the planet. College football now.
Kyle Bowler could throw a potato 80 yards.
Right? And he's fat. But Matt Jones ran a 4.36 40. Right? Arkansas QB, and he ended up being a wide receiver in the NFL for Jacksonville Jaguars. Right. I'm not saying that all I'm saying is I see it. Mm-hmm. What I don't see is enough of the passing that is like legitimate passing, not throwing to a dude who you just. What happened was you juked out 7 guys in the backfield, and now this guy's sitting in the end zone by himself, wide open.
Right.
And I can throw it to that guy wide open. I may not have been able to juke the 7 guys to get to that point, and I will give him that. He has more talent in his pinky finger than I have in my whole body when it comes to athleticism.
No doubt.
But I need you to be able to throw a ball consistently to the wide receiver in traffic.
It's crazy.
In a mouse hole, right? So
it's crazy. So let's get into this predict your top 10 segment. Nino, did you want to go 10-1?
I'll go 10-5. I'll let you go 10-5.
Okay, I like that. I like that.
Right.
I always like the bar for bar. So go ahead.
Yeah. So I'll start at the bottom. I'm going to go 10. I got Washington Huskies. This is where I think they're going to start at.
I expected them a little bit higher. So this is what you think the polls are going to say with like the AP poll.
This is where I think they're going to come out with.
Okay, so we read this the same way.
Yeah. This is where I think this is going to come out. Now, for me, I'd have them a little higher, but I think this is where the poll is going to have them because the polls don't give the Pac-12 any kind of justice.
No, we know that.
Yeah. Then I got Notre Dame at 9. I struggled with this team because I wrote them in another spot, penciled them out. Wrote them in another spot, penciled them out.
Yeah, I had my Seinfeld moment when
I don't get the hype about the coach. Okay, I don't get the hype about the returning people outside of Singleton and the quarterback. But who are they throwing the darn ball to? Because both of them gentlemen went to the draft, and I got Penn State at 8. Okay, I had him at 5. I erased it. I had him at 7. I erased it because Al is a dude, but they haven't even declared him the dude. Right. They made him in a QB competition with 2 other guys. If you want to say something about Will Levis not being able to beat Sean Clifford, right?
Yeah,
for the job at Penn State, bro. This guy was supposed to be the man, and he's going against 2 other dudes who on paper, couldn't even sniff his jockstrap, and it's a QB battle. I don't want to hear about it, right? So, outside of them 2 guys, what do they got, though? Like, can Singleton carry the rock 30 times? I know they have the other gentleman in the backfield, Allen, and he's a dude, right? But teams are going to realize that you just running the ball 50 times a game, right? Yeah. Right. So, I want to see it. I got to see it because I haven't – and everybody loves Franklin and put him in the top 5. But, what has he really done? What has he won?
I think you're asking a question that a lot of people need answered, and a lot of people need answered by these voters because they love Penn State.
I get yelled at when I bring this up. Like,
it's kind of one of those taboo topics that a lot of people
like. Boomer got at me a little bit. He was like, "Oh, I'd rather have Franklin." I'm like, "You'd rather have Franklin out of like the guy out in Utah? You'd rather have Franklin instead of Brian Kelly?" Like, nah, bro. I'll take those dudes all day. I would actually rather have the dude. Like, I'm thinking I might even have Lance Leopold.
Really?
He wins.
Yeah.
They win. I mean, I know it's a different league, right? It's a big different conference.
I was surprised he was in the top 10. I know you've seen the same rankings that
I have at 5, bro. It's just I don't know. So I got Penn State at 8. At 7, I got USC.
Okay.
And then at 6, I got LSU.
Okay. Like I said, I think when you evaluate these, predict your top 10. There's a couple of factors that go into it. Number one factor that goes into it is kind of what we predict. Yeah. Because we all know how the AP poll rolls. I will never forgive them for after Florida beat Utah, they were not in the top 25 preseason, and then they put them at 12.
Yeah. I flipped out. I was flipping out.
Nah, bro. Hey, I wish we was making a show together because I snapped. I snapped after.
I said to Boom, I'm like, bro, how was this? Like, these dudes weren't even in the box. They weren't even a blip in the screen. Come on, man.
Oh yeah, they're the 12th best team in the nation. So I think you guys, when you really look at this segment, this is what our thought process is. So at number 10, I got Texas.
Okay.
Couple of reasons. Money is number 1. 2, they got a Manning kid there. 3, Sarkis.
If he's not the starter though, I don't know if that's relevant.
Right. The biggest concern with not putting him in top 10 is the reps at running back. Love the wide receiving core. They're returning pretty much all of their guys out, wide out, and then
I'm telling you, A.D. Mitchell is going to blow doors.
Right. I'm excited for Worthy this season, so we'll see. And
he's one. I just said A.D. Mitchell because he's going to be drawing the third guy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because you have the other the gentleman from Wyoming, Naya, who was hurt last year. Isaiah Naya. So, like, those are their dudes. A.D. Mitchell's just going to be free downfield.
The excuses in
gone.
Austin, nobody wants to hear it from Sark.
You got Baxter Jr. If all the other running backs suck, even Jaden Blue, if he can't do anything, Baxter can do it by himself. If you don't win 10 games,
there's a problem. And you're heading into the SEC. That's a big problem. So
you got him at 10, right?
Yeah.
My only concern was like we said, was the running back thing. Like, you know what I mean?
And then some defensive concerns as well.
And does the committee learn their lesson? Because they had them in the top 10 last year, and instantaneously they fell way to the bottom.
They're a money grab.
I know.
We know the flip side of this.
I know.
At number 9, you're going to get on me here, but I don't care. I got Tennessee at 9. Go ahead. I waited. Go ahead.
Who's starting?
Milton is starting.
There's no fucking way. Ooh, my bad. I apologize. There's no way there's no way he's there at 9 if Joe Milton starts.
Okay.
Sorry.
Okay. So
if they said Nico was starting, then
you think there's a way Nico can win it before game 1? Because this is the preseason poll that we're talking about. So this is we got to keep everything in perspective.
There's always a chance. You don't bring a kid in.
Yeah. No,
tell him to tie him to enroll early and bring him to practices for the bowl game. That there's not a chance.
No, that we know what's going on here. Milton, you're
people want to be stupid. You can be stupid if you want.
Yeah, but we know.
They forced him out of Michigan, right? For the dude that's now the quarterback in Iowa. Come on,
say it so they can hear it.
They forced him out of Michigan for the dude who can't throw, who's in Iowa now. Wow. What happens to quarterbacks in Iowa? They go to die, right?
They do.
I'm sorry.
They do. Shout my guy McDermott. But I'm sure Spencer Petras didn't let him know about that. Okay, so here's what we get interested, and trust me, when I made this list, I'm like, I know Nino's point about this Pac-12 is really going to get me. I got USC at 8. Mm-hmm. You did something that I didn't think you were going to do. You know I'm big on Florida State this year. I'm kind of foreshadowing. My apologies. I got them at 7. Right. I got your guys, the guys from Eugene, at 6.
I don't disagree with that. I just don't think that they're going to, because they learned last year. They played Oregon week 1, smoked. Nah, we ain't doing that again.
Yeah. So that
they're gonna make them earn it. They're gonna make them earn it. I know Bo's back, and Bo could probably be, a Heisman candidate. Yeah, I'm telling you, teams in the Pac-12. Teams in the middle, the WAC, the MAC, anything like that. If you were ranked up high and you flopped early, they are going to make you earn it. They'll be in the top 15. They might even be 10. You know what I'm saying? But they are going to make Oregon earn it this year.
My number 5 team is going to scare you. I can't wait. You go ahead.
So at 5, I got Florida State.
I love the pick.
It's not because of Jordan Travis. It's not because of Johnny Wilson or Pittman, because he's hurt right now. They're coming back. Trey Benson's healthy, and if you don't know who Trey Benson is or what he was coming out of high school, just type his name in YouTube real quick. Get your popcorn. Like my man says, get your favorite snack, and just be wild, bro. He is a dude. There is a very good chance he's a top 5 running back in college football this year. And if that's the case, Florida State's going to be in the top 5 all year.
We're both big on Florida State.
Yeah, I think Jordan Travis is a guy. I think last year he won me over last year. Going into last year, I was like, oh man, is he going to be another one?
We're tired of this. We're tired of this show.
Yeah, I thought he was going to be the same thing as the dude I have below him at LSU. Like, are you going to be the same as this guy? Like, come on, man. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you got the talent, you're mobile.
Jaden Daniels still scare me because we seen flashes of what he could do.
Right.
And I feel like he's now more of a runner than I thought he was.
Which he never was.
Yeah. It's just like I've seen at times in Arizona State he'll go through his progressions. Now it's like, if that first guy ain't open, I'm taking off.
Yeah, well, I don't know if he's scared. I mean, he started to dial it back towards the end of the year. Once him and Neighbors got that connection, then he started to sit in the pocket a little bit and go through. Okay,
I'm interested to see them too this year.
Yeah. So I have Florida State at 5. At 4, I have Alabama.
Oh, Nino, you got some explaining to do. Bam at 4. Why?
What do you say? The worst thing for college football was Alabama wasn't in the playoffs.
Yeah.
Right? The best thing for college football is Alabama wasn't in the playoffs.
Yeah.
Whoever he picks at the quarterback position, whether it's Milroe or Thompson, I think it's going to be Milroe. He's going to conform the offense to him.
Mm-hmm.
Are you ready for a fully mobile quarterback in Alabama? And this is why I got him on the top 5. If Nick Saban goes to a fully dual-threat quarterback, which Milroe is, if he lets him eat.
Bruh, we seen him have success with Blake Sims.
Yeah, and he was a partial, right? Partially mobile quarterback. Bryce Young is mobile, but he didn't really do it much. Him and Stroud didn't. They did it when they needed to. Young was more, right? But what did I say? He had 187 rush yards this year, and one game he had 100. Right. So how much did he run?
Right.
Milroe can run, bro. He quarterbacked 3 games. He had almost 240 rush yards. That's what he can do. And he can throw the ball. If Saban, for some reason, decides to go with this dual threat QB, wow. I think, they're going to have the pieces on defense. They always do. I just think that you're going to see a whole new script out of the Crimson Tide, which college football ain't ready for. The SEC ain't ready for Nick Saban to have a dual threat QB.
No. Because we know that matters in December.
Yes.
we know.
Oh, yeah. Then at 3, I got Michigan. You got the deadliest backfield. Deadly backfield.
You got him below Ohio State.
Yeah.
Why?
Kyle McCord. Marvin Harrison Jr. And Buka. Fleming. Michigan ain't got anybody on the same realm as those guys.
Agreed.
Kyle McCord is going to take his pants off this year and take a dump on the Big Ten in college football.
That's what you expect.
Yeah. Oh, I expect Kyle McCord's name to be in the top 5 next year in the 2024 draft class. How about that? Drake May what? But people are sleeping on him because CJ Stroud was there. Okay?
Right.
My guy was an absolute dog coming out of prep school. Mm-hmm. And who was his receiver? Marvin Harrison Jr. Okay? They destroyed records at the prep school. Coming into it, he knew he was going to sit behind Stroud. Bro, when you got that and you have to wait, it just makes you hungrier. Okay? He got every intangible, every attribute that you want an NFL quarterback. My dude got it. And he wears the right number. So, come on. But I'm telling you, Kyle McCord is going to be talked about, if not 5, in the top 6 in the draft class next year. This kid is coming out, and he's coming out swinging. He's hungry.
Yeah, we seen it done consecutive times in a row. Justin Fields, we've seen it done with C.J. Stroud when he won a quarterback battle over Quinn Ewers. We seen it happen. So it wouldn't surprise me. Ryan Day's offense is quarterback friendly. Period.
The number 1 receiver in the country gets to receive balls from the dude that he was in high school with for 3 years. Bro?
It's crazy.
Come on, man. And if you don't think he's pushing and he's in everybody's ear saying, I don't have to play this year. I can sit out. Jamar Chase did it. I can do it.
Right.
But if you give me my guy, I'm definitely going to play him. We're going to do big things. It works like that. You people don't think it works like that. It works like that.
Wow. So, and then Georgia, of course, at 1.
I have to have them at 1, right? I mean, back-to-back champions.
Yeah.
I know they're in a QB battle.
Right.
But.
And last 2 seasons, they lost a lot of talent, so.
Yeah, they lost Jalen Carter, and they're replacing him with a dude that's probably double the size of him, Bear Alexander. He literally looks like he ate Jalen Carter. All right, like I don't know where, like whoever is the defensive recruit, it ain't Kirby. Kirby just goes in at the last second and says, "Hi, mom and dad, I'm here for your son. We're gonna bring him to that's all he's there for. He make look good, Kirby. Come in there with your hair parted the right way. Do your speech. Where do I sign? It's sign on time. I go. But that defensive recruit who goes in there and sells them, bro. I don't know where he finds these guys or where he got for connections, but that dude's tapped in.
At 5, Clemson. Here's the thing, Nino. Over the last 5 or 6 years, we've seen what Dabo has been able to do with this team, with or without the transfer portal. We've seen it.
I'm done.
And even though I'm not the biggest Dabo Finney's fan, everybody knows that at this point. Just because there are options there for him to utilize, and he didn't utilize. But he did something this offseason that I thought that was very surprising. And Nino said he don't think it was him. He think it was the big wig who was making the real calls going to go get Garrett Riley. I think that'll be important. I think 5 is high, but I think they still will be in a preseason top 10 of the coaches poll or the AP poll. You don't think so? I don't think LSU is going to be in the top 10.
Why? They were in the top 10 at the end of the season. They didn't lose anybody besides Booty Butte.
Oh, now he Booty Butte.
Well, that's what everybody says.
Well, all the high accolades he had coming into.
Whoa. See, this is where people like to twist my narrative. Hold on. Let me. Where were the high accolades? All I said was. I'm not
talking about you personally. I'm saying everybody had high superlatives, high accolades coming in the season.
I say Booty Butte off the combine. That's all.
Oh, well.
The combine was terrible for him.
Yeah.
That's why I call him Booty Butte. And there's another reason why I call him Booty Butte.
Oh, yeah. You and I both know.
But, I mean, you lose him and you lose, Jay Ward and B.J. Ojolari on the defensive side of the ball. Mm-hmm. For the most part, right? Mm-hmm. They were they 7? Going into the playoff? 6? They were right there. Like,
yeah, they were.
Neighbors had already surpassed, turned around and waved at Booty. Mm-hmm. So it wasn't like, you know what I'm saying? Like, the only thing that sinks them is, once again, it's looking like John Emery Jr. is going to be not starting to week 4 because he can't get his head in the books and get his grades at the right spot to play. So I read yesterday that it's looking like he's going to be 2 to 3 weeks behind it. Again, last year was 4 weeks. So that's a bad sign.
I'm interested to see out of our...
How you got them over your own team?
Ooh, Clemson?
Florida State's your team.
I know.
And you put Clemson over them?
Yeah, but remember, building this, I'm going off what I think the AP and the coaches poll.
All right, so why? Because they're a name? Because of Dabo?
Yeah.
What did they open up at last year?
Because of the success that they had last season. They opened up what? They opened up top 4 last year, didn't they?
Top 4?
Yeah.
Are you sure?
And the AP poll, yeah, look at the preseason poll for. I'm about to look it up right now. And if they weren't 4, they were 5.
I love Klubnik, but not everybody loves Klubnik.
Nah, no. We see such a small sample size.
They're losing so much on the defensive side of the ball, and going to my guy and I get it. They got Shipley and stuff still in Maffa in the backfield, but I think you gotta. I honestly think you could clip this because when it happens, I'm gonna say I told you. I think you got a better chance of seeing Texas at 4 than you do Clemson.
Ooh. So this is in the. Hold on. Let me make sure. So preseason college football rankings, top 22, top 25 coaches poll. This was released August 8th, 2022. Alabama 1, Ohio State 2, Georgia 3, Clemson 4. They love Clemson. That is my. I'm not saying that Clemson is a top 5 team in the nation. Of course not. But they love Clemson. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. Yeah, they opened up at 4, bro.
But that they were also loving Clemson in that stifling defense.
Agreed. And
that stifling defense is losing 3, 4 of the Henry, Simpson, Murphy, Breezy. A lot of guys up front.
It is. So we'll see. So bold prediction: you don't think Clemson will be in the top 10?
I don't think they'll be in the top 5.
No, you don't think they'll be in the top 5. Okay. So I think from your list, Notre Dame and Penn State are probably the only 2 teams. And the LSU I'm iffy on. If they do put LSU in, I think it'll be 10.
I just think LSU's body of work.
You made a valid point about their body of work.
Notre Dame for me, 2 reasons. You say the money. Sam Hartman.
Okay. I like that. So let's talk more about our top 4 though, because I think our top 4 is where we really disagree. I got Ohio State at 4. I got Michigan at 3. Just because, hey. Last 2 seasons, man, they put hands and feet on them dudes. I can't.
Okay.
Arguably the best returning backfield in the nation. Number 2, I got Bama.
Hey, you know what's funny? You know what's funny? Is I'm hearing that Blake Corum not going to be a top 5 running back.
You talking about in the draft or in the nation for college football? Because there's 2 different entities. We talking about postseason, or we talking about entering the season? And are we talking about the NFL, or are we talking about the? Hold on. So you saying Blake Corum ain't gonna put up numbers this season?
I'm hearing it from Michigan guys. He's not gonna be top 5.
Top 5. What?
At the end of college football, he won't be a top 5 running back.
Based on what criteria?
What he puts up. I think that means that it's not healthy.
I won't question your sources, but I know a few of your sources, so I'm interested to talk off air about what you know, because you know something that I don't know. Clearly, you know something.
That's just what I'm hearing.
I got Bama at 2, and the reason I got Bama at 2 is national championship pregame. David Pollock.
he said it right to him.
Yeah. And
he took it like a champ.
And look in Nick Saban's eyes. I seen that before. I seen it before. He's like, I love you, brother.
You just lit the fire.
Watch me work. Watch me work. Yep. Number 1 recruiting class this year. Number 1 recruiting class 2021. They were number 2 in 2022. We all know who was number 1 in 2022.
Yeah.
A damn. I don't even want to talk about conversation. Shout out everybody texting. I don't even want to talk about that. But yeah. So I got Bama at 2. How do you feel about that?
I have no problem with that.
Okay.
Find it funny you got at me when I had him at 5.
No. I was getting at you. I think you thought I was getting at you because you thought I
4,
thought I had it too high, right? I was getting at you because I'm like, I think they should be higher because Nick Saban been working. Hey, bro, I'm fearful. Everybody should be fearful of Tuscaloosa. I'm trying to tell you, Nick Saban is coming. I'm telling you.
Yeah, no, you're right. He's coming. And like I said, I'm with it. I think you're going to see a dual threat quarterback. I'm not sure. My concern is after they've gone on and left Alabama, how good are these wide receivers?
Why you gotta ask difficult questions, man?
That's my job, right?
And it's interesting because we felt like for years they've been kind of like pipeline you when it comes to the wide receiver position, but
Devontae Smith has been doing. I'll give him that.
Yeah.
But outside, he's not a 1.
No.
We saw him in the 1 role when he was mediocre. We can keep going down the line. I mean, Jerry Jeudy, he's on the trade block.
Yeah.
So, I don't know, man. And who's there? Because the dude I liked in AA, Anthony Anderson, he left. Where did he go? He went to LSU. Oh, the other guy that I liked, JoJo Early, he left. He went to TCU. So who's there?
Hey, that 5'7" guy who's a certified killer. As long as he coaching in Tuscaloosa,
he ain't catching the balls though.
Hey, he like fire under his players.
You know who could catch the balls though? Who could have a really good season? That's Kobe Prentice. He could have a good year. He could ball.
Is Brooks still there?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And
then Homeboy's still there, right? Homeboy, the lady hitter. He's still there, right?
Come on.
I'm pretty sure he's back. I don't think anybody wanted him in the draft after that.
And of course, we both got UGA at one, bro. And Nino is crazy, man.
Oh, man.
Hey, this has been too fun. I think this is actually our longest episode ever.
Really?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Oh, it's already 9:30. Yeah.
I think this will taste the cake. A lot to talk about. Shout out to everybody who came in and enjoyed this cast. We definitely gonna make some clips and some shorts out of this. Definitely gonna clip this. Predict your top 10. I love stuff like this, Nino. I think we should do this again.
Absolutely.
And make sure you guys are here tomorrow, 8 p.m. Same bad time, same bad channel. Also, some things will be changing over the next couple of weeks. I don't know if Nino knows. I go on vacation in a couple of days. So after the start of the vacation is when we're going to start getting these CFB mornings, CFB middays, and CFB primes. And of course,
Prime, that's me.
Yeah, Nino's going to be the captain of CFB Prime. I don't know what you guys are going to get, but I already know. Look at the hat Nino got on. I know Nino's affinity, for Primetime Sanders. I call Nino Bob Costas because his ability to do this, he does it at a level a lot of people just aren't able to reach. No disrespect to anybody. It's just what I personally think. As I always like to say, do something nice that somebody normally wouldn't do. Always pay it forward. Peace and love. Peace and blessings. And until next time, one.